Hey guys, it's nice to see you all. So my name is Samarpan, and I guess as you all know by now that I was associated with ISHRE, and right now I'm basically studying MS Research in the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I'm working as a research assistant in Keen Lab, and we basically work on membrane technologies and wastewater treatment in general. So yeah, I mean, like as requested by Kunjan sir, we just giving you a brief overview of what's required for your MS research, or what should you do to be in the research field. So I guess I cannot really decide what's the interest, like whether it's in research or whether you want to go for industry. That depends completely on you. But one thing I would say is that before you like delve into the research field, it's really important that you gain some research experience, right? Gain some research internships from IITs and IITs in India. And because like if you gain some research experience, then you'll be able to know like what you're getting into, right? Like before, let's say that before you want to like taste KFC's fried chicken, right? You should understand that, all right, like fried chicken will be having this taste, right? So you like mentally prepare yourself, right? And so the same is the case for masters with research, because for masters, like you have like two different ways you can go. One is without research, and the other is with research. So without research is the one which is called MTech in India, and with research is called MSR in India and MS Research here in the US or outside India. So before you select for MS Research, please make sure that you have enough research experience, you have enough research papers in your CV. And when I say research papers, make sure that the papers are being published in very good journals. And when I say very good journals, it basically means like journals which have an impact factor of more than 4, some of which are like published by Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, Springer. And I would say that if you have independent journal publications in your CV more than conference papers, then your CV will be rated high than anything else, right? Because conference papers do not really make any sense, or I would say conference papers do not really make a huge difference in your CV, right? So please make sure that whenever you are like doing publications, make sure that you're publishing in very good journals, and those are like journal articles and not really conference papers. So that's like one thing. And for MTech, like, or for MS without research, I would say like explore options in India first, like prepare for GATE, try to make sure that you are getting into an MTech program in India. But if you feel like that, all right, like you want to escape the country, or you want to like go to a different place for a masters without research, then I would say like start preparing for GRE, right? But before you prepare for GRE, or before you like even come to the US, make sure that you are ready to invest money, right? Because US is expensive, it's pretty much expensive than India. So make sure that you are ready to take this risk. But if you are applying for MS Research, generally most of the students in MS Research will be funded, because you'll be doing research, you'll be working in a lab, right? So you will be funded. But the problem with MS Research is that like before you apply, or before you even like start applying, you need to mail the professors first. You need to mail different professors. You'll be getting their contacts on LinkedIn. You'll be getting their contacts on the university's website. So you can go through their website. You can go through their email addresses. You can send them mail with your resume and everything. That all right, like these are the things I'm interested in. I'm interested to work in a group. I have this much amount of research experience. I have this many amount of research papers in this domain, and I feel like I'll be a good fit for your group. So then the professor will ask you to go for an interview. The professor will ask you for an interview, and you have to appear for the interview, right? And that interview is pretty much intense. It generally lasts for about like 30 to 40 minutes. But like if you're able to crack that interview, then like it's an easy path ahead, right? So but just make sure that you know what field you're getting into, you know what group you want to work with. I guess that makes everything a bit much more easier than everything else. So be prepared for the interview, be very much thorough with your fundamentals. I would say that interviews are not really rocket science. Interviews, whether you go for industry, whether you go for masters with research, interviews are always based on fundamental questions. So make sure that your fundamentals are really correct, are really good, right? So that's one. And for MS without research, you do not need to go for any interview. You just need to appear for a GRE, and the GRE is applicable for both the cases, for MS research as well as for MTech or MS without research. But the thing is, like, in case of MS without research, you do not need to go for an interview, but you need to have very good GRE scores if you want to apply for the top 100 universities in the world in engineering, right? But if you're applying for your masters with research, then you do not need to have a huge amount of GRE scores, because you've already done so much amount of work. You already have so much achievements in your CV in terms of publications, that during the interview your assessment will be done, right? So, but since for MS research candidates, for MS candidates without research, you do not have an interview. Therefore, you need to make sure that your GRE scores are really good, because it's on the basis of GRE scores and your overall profile you'll be judged, right? Please understand that admissions process is really different in India than in the US. In the US, your entire profile will be checked, starting from GPA to extracurriculars to publications to achievements to because in the US they're looking for out of the box individuals. And when I say out of the box individuals, it basically means that they're looking for candidates who will be able to make a change, will be able to make an impact, right? So they're not looking for robots, like which is the case for India. Like everything is like judged on the basis of marks. But for MS without research, you need to make sure that your entire profile is really well balanced, right? You have the right amount of internships, you have the right amount of engineering experience in terms of projects. So projects are required for all the cases. Like you cannot really go through the top 100 university without any proper project, right? You need to make sure that your project is good. You need to make sure that the project is novel and innovative, because the ones who will be going through your applications, they're already very experienced, right, in this particular domain. So they won't be like, you cannot really fool them, right? They're already very much experienced in this domain, and like they will be going through like thousands of applications. So if you really want to stand out from that lot, you need to make sure that you have something in your CV that will help you stand out from the crowd, right? So please make sure in whichever program you're applying for, MS research or MS without research, make sure that you're doing good projects, right? You're participating in very good competitions at the national or international level, and just make sure that your projects are innovative enough to help you cut through the process of admissions. And another thing is, like, admissions in the US is more of a like balanced kind of thing, right? Let's say that if you're having a low GRE score, you need to make sure that your extracurriculars are really good. You need to make sure that your publications are really good. You need to make sure that your projects are really good. So it balances out, right? But if you're having a low GRE score and a low profile, you won't be able to get admission in the top 100 universities in the world. And my personal suggestion is that if you really want to do your master's from the US, please make sure, or anywhere like apart from US, please make sure that you select universities which are in the top 100. And when I say top 100 in engineering, right? When you search for the overall rank will basically give you the rank of all the subjects combined for a particular college, right? And a college has humanities, it has geography, it has science. So based on the overall subject rankings, an overall rank is being given. So whenever you're like sorting out your colleges, make sure that you are sorting out the colleges on the basis of the rank of the engineering branches, right? So that will give you a very good estimate about like which college you really want to get into. So that's one. And the second thing is, again, like, just make sure that whatever program you're applying for, MS research or MS without research, your GRE score should always be more than 315. 315 to 320 is a safe range for both the programs. So just make sure that you need to apply, you just need to score within this particular range. Like, you can obviously like score higher, but just make sure that you score within this particular range. And for GRE, I would say, like, GRE is basically based on like two subjects. You have English and maths. English is very tough, for GRE. It's like way different than English courses that we have been taking during our undergraduate or during our school period. Like English is really tough for GRE. Just make sure that whenever you are preparing for GRE, you're preparing it at least 1 year ahead of your time, right? If you are applying for 2022, make sure that you're preparing from now onwards, because English is really tough. Second thing is the maths. Maths is pretty elementary. Maths is like pretty basic. You'll be able to do it. It basically consists of geometry, probability, and all those factors. Like you can basically check them like if you go to the GRE website. So what I mean to say is that GRE scores are not really used as an admission criteria. GRE scores are basically used to reject candidates. Let's say that you have like 5 candidates on the lot and you need to reject some candidates, so they'll be done on the basis of GRE scores, right? Like a high GRE score doesn't really mean that you'll be guaranteed an admission, right? Because then like anyone above 330 would be admitted to MIT, right? But that doesn't really happen. So don't really invest too much time into GRE. Just make sure that you score within the particular range, and just the main thing is that if you really want to get into the top 100 universities in the world, just make sure that you're having a very good profile. You're having a very good CV in terms of projects, like research, everything. Because even here, when you're doing a master's, you have to do projects. So if you don't know how to do a project, if you don't know the fundamentals of your subjects, then it will be really difficult to succeed in the US or anywhere you go for a master's, right? So this is really important. And again, like the last thing I would say is that before you even start applying for a master's in the US, be mentally prepared that you need to invest a good amount of money, right? If you are going for MS research, like you'll be paid, no worries. But if you're going for MS without research, it will be a bit difficult. I don't want to like discourage anyone, of course, because like if you take the risk of coming to the US and if you succeed here, like your life is set, right? Like you'll be earning like 10 to 15 times of what you're earning in India, and the life here is way better than in India, right? But again, like I would say that if you really want to do masters outside India, just make sure that you are doing it within the top 100 universities. Other universities do not matter. Other universities, like they're not really worth it, I would say. So this is really an honest confession that I really want to make. So yeah, since I'm at UW Madison, and UW Madison is like within the top 100 universities in the world, and UW Madison has like legacies of like innovators, like Nobel laureates and everyone. So like when you get into good college, the atmosphere or the ambience that you're having for learning is perfect. So just make sure that you have these things on mind, and when you're shortlisting the colleges, just make sure that you divide your colleges into like ambitious, safety, and easy to get into. So what does it mean is that if you want to apply for like 5 universities, and for 5 universities, like have at least one universities like which is like a dream college, let's say MIT, right? Or any other college which is like a dream college you really want to get into. Then comes the safety colleges. Safety colleges are the ones where your chances are like 50-50, right? And the last one is like easy to get into, like at least have 1 or 2 universities where you know that your chances of getting into that university is like perfect. It's like you don't need to think much. So do the shortlisting in that fashion so that you do not need to waste money. You also do not need to waste time, right? So just make sure that you do the shortlisting in this way, and like this will be much more easier for you like in the long run. And for again, like for doing masters, just go through the courses that you'll be taking during your master's course level, and try to sync your master's subjects with your undergraduate courses as well, right? Like in mechanical engineering, we had finite element method, right? So if you're going into a field which has simulations or computational fluid dynamics, then you need to take finite element method during your undergraduate course, because that will be really helpful. So that you do not need to like take this course again and again during a master's level, right? So that's one. And the second thing is like before you even choose any particular field of research, if you're going for MS research, make sure that you know that field very well, right? Therefore, I always say that research experience is really important. You should know what you're getting into. right? Don't force yourself, because if you're forcing yourself to get into a new field which you don't really know of, then it will be really difficult for you to even survive. So just make sure that you know what you're getting into, and for that I would recommend that at least do internships from IITs, like during summer or winter internships, and try to have a good amount of research experience. Like that will be really helpful. So I guess like that's pretty much what it's all about. I guess the admission seasons are like coming. It's already like on, and yeah, like anyone who applies this year, wish you all the best, and yeah, chill out. Thank you.